Welcome to the Allison Knows podcast. Today we're diving deep into something, it's both ancient and incredibly relevant to our lives, astrology and numerology.
Yeah.
You guys have given us this mix of traditional texts and modern interpretations and even some predictions for 2025.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, get ready to explore those cosmic connections between who we are and the numbers and the stars that shape our lives.
What I think is really exciting about these systems is how they provide a framework for understanding ourselves better and also understanding the world around us.
Right.
It's like a secret language.
Oh, I love that.
Helps us decode the patterns.
A secret language. Okay, so let's start with the basics. When we talk about astrology, we're talking about the zodiac, right?
Exactly.
Those 12 signs we all know.
Yeah. Each sign is associated with certain elements and personality traits. For instance, Taurus, which is an earth sign, is known for being grounded, practical, and loyal.
Makes sense.
But one of the sources points out
that they can also tend towards materialism.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's they're drawn to the tangible, the things that they can see and touch.
Yes.
But what does that mean for Taurus, in terms of their overall life path?
Well, that's where it gets interesting. The source suggests that for a Taurus to truly thrive, they need to find balance.
Right.
So they need to be able to enjoy the material comforts, but not let it be their sole focus.
Okay.
It's about recognizing the importance of emotional fulfillment and connection as well.
So it's not just about knowing your sun sign, it's about understanding the deeper implications of its energy and how to work with it consciously.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this applies to all the signs.
Yeah.
For example, Gemini, an air sign, is known for being versatile, communicative, and quick-witted.
Right.
But that mental agility can sometimes lead to restlessness and a lack of focus, as one of the sources mentions.
So for a Gemini, the challenge might be finding ways to channel that energy effectively.
Exactly.
Alan Oken, in his book, Complete Astrology, he compares Gemini's mind to a butterfly flitting from flower to flower.
I like that.
So they need to find ways to harness that energy, to focus their attention without stifling their natural curiosity and their thirst for knowledge.
So it's finding that balance between exploring all the possibilities, but then also grounding themselves in something meaningful.
Right. And this idea of balance is key to understanding astrology.
Oh, yeah.
Each sign has its strengths and challenges.
Right.
And it's about recognizing how these energies play out in our lives and finding ways to integrate them.
So it's not about being good or bad at being a certain sign. It's about understanding the nuances and using that knowledge to navigate life better.
Exactly.
Cool.
Now, speaking of navigating life, our sources also delve into the fascinating realm of astrological compatibility.
Ooh, this is where it gets juicy. Everyone wants to know if they're compatible with their crush or their partner.
Absolutely. And one of the sources specifically mentions the numerology pairing of life path number 3 and 3.
Okay, so before we get into the compatibility, can you give us a quick rundown on life path numbers? What are they and how are they calculated?
Sure. In numerology, your life path number is derived from your birth date.
Okay.
And it's believed to reveal your core purpose, your strengths, and the challenges that you might face in this lifetime.
Wow.
It's like a blueprint of your soul's journey.
That's fascinating. So how does this connect to the compatibility of 2 life path 3s?
Well, according to the source, this pairing is often characterized by a strong sense of camaraderie, shared humor, and a natural understanding of each other's creative impulses.
That sounds like a fun-loving and dynamic duo.
Yes.
But are there any potential challenges?
The source does mention that while life path 3s can have a blast together, they might struggle when it comes to having deep, serious conversations.
Okay.
Their shared lightheartedness might make it difficult to address weighty issues.
So it's about finding that balance again, right? Knowing when to lighten up and when to lean into those more challenging discussions.
Exactly. And this ties into the broader concept of astrological compatibility.
Okay.
Astrologers look at the interplay of planetary positions in 2 individuals' birth charts to assess areas of harmony, potential challenges, and opportunities for growth within the relationship.
So it's like a cosmic dance, seeing how these energies flow and interact.
It really is. And what's beautiful is that even challenging aspects can be valuable.
Right.
They can push us to evolve and understand ourselves and our partners on a deeper level.
This is all so insightful.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm already starting to see my relationships in a whole new light.
That's the power of these systems. They offer a lens for deeper understanding.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the key is to apply them with awareness and an open mind.
Absolutely. And before we dive even deeper into like numerology, I want to remind everyone to like subscribe and share this episode with anyone who needs a little cosmic guidance in their lives.
Yes.
And be sure to join Allison Knows on Spotify and YouTube for more deep dives into all sorts of awesome topics. We'll be right back.
There's so much more to explore in this fascinating realm. And we're back, ready to delve deeper into numerology.
I'm excited to learn more.
Yeah.
We touched on life path numbers before, but you mentioned there are other numerological calculations too.
Yes. There's like a whole system of numbers that can give you insights into different facets of our personalities and our life paths. For instance, there's the destiny number,
Okay.
which is calculated using your full birth name,
Mm-hmm.
and it reveals your potential and the path you're meant to follow.
So it's like your life path number is the map, and your destiny number is like the destination.
And that's a great way to think about it.
Okay, cool.
And then there's the soul urge number,
Okay.
which is calculated using the vowels in your name. This number reflects your deepest desires, your inner motivations, the things that truly make your soul sing.
Ooh, that sounds intriguing. So if someone's soul urge number is different from their life path number, could that create like an internal conflict?
It certainly can.
Oh, wow.
It's like having two different compasses pointing in different directions.
Yeah.
The key is to find a way to integrate those energies.
Right.
To find a path that honors both your purpose and your deepest desires.
It's all about that balance again. Huh?
Yes.
What about these karmic numbers you mentioned earlier? What are
Yeah.
those all about?
Karmic numbers are fascinating. They're derived from the challenges and lessons you're meant to work through in this lifetime,
Okay.
based on past experiences or actions. They can point to areas where you might experience obstacles or setbacks, but also where you have the potential for incredible growth and transformation.
So it's like these numbers are showing us where we need to do some inner work,
Exactly.
some soul searching
Yes.
to like overcome past patterns and evolve.
Exactly. And working through those karmic lessons can be incredibly liberating. It's like clearing out old baggage to make space for new opportunities and experiences.
I love that. It's like numerology is giving us these clues to help us understand not just who we are, but who we're becoming.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we're not static beings.
Right.
We're constantly evolving, learning, and growing.
Okay, so we've got all these different numerological calculations: life path, destiny, soul, urge, karmic numbers. How do they all fit together to create a complete picture of someone?
Well, it's like putting together a puzzle.
Okay.
Each number represents a different piece.
Right.
And when you combine them, you get a more comprehensive understanding of the individual's personality, potential, and life journey.
It's like having a personalized numerological blueprint.
Yes.
And speaking of blueprints, let's talk about those angel numbers we mentioned earlier. Those repeating sequences like 111 or 444.
Yes. Angel numbers are believed to be messages from the spiritual realm, little nudges from the universe or your guides to pay attention to something or to offer reassurance that you're on the right path.
It's like the universe is sending us text messages.
Exactly.
What are some of the common interpretations of these angel numbers?
One of the sources highlights angel number 222.
Go
It
ahead.
is often associated with new beginnings, particularly in relationships. It suggests that seeing this number could indicate the arrival of a soulmate or a significant connection.
Ooh, that's exciting. What about angel number 555? I feel like I've been seeing that one everywhere lately.
Angel number 555 is often linked to major life changes and transformations.
Okay.
It encourages you to trust your intuition and embrace the shifts that are happening, even if they feel challenging.
So if you're going through a big transition, seeing 555 might be a sign that you're on the right track, even if it feels a bit scary.
Exactly. It's a reminder that even in the midst of chaos, there's a divine order at play.
That's reassuring. What about angel number 888? What message does that one carry?
Angel number 888 is often associated with abundance, prosperity, and achieving your goals. It's a sign that your hard work is paying off and that you're on the path to success.
Manifesting those dreams. Okay, so we've got all these fascinating insights from astrology and numerology, but how do we apply them to our lives in a practical way?
That's a great question. I think it starts with self-awareness. Pay attention to the signs and numbers that show up in your life,
Right.
but don't let them dictate your every move.
There's a quote from the Born Under a Good Sign source that really resonated with me. It says, "As a Cancer, you get told that your family must always come first. What they won't or don't tell you is that if you don't also take time for yourself and the wild imagination that we have, it will more than likely either 1, put you in the funny farm, or 2, it will shut you down almost completely emotionally.
That's such an important point. It highlights the importance of personal interpretation and intuition. We can use these systems as guides,
Mhm.
but we shouldn't let them box us in or create unnecessary limitations.
So it's about finding that balance again,
Yes.
using these systems as tools for self-discovery and growth,
Yeah.
but ultimately trusting our own inner wisdom.
Exactly. It's about empowering ourselves with knowledge, but also remembering that we have free will and the ability to create our own realities.
I love that. It's like we're co-creating with the cosmos. This is all so mind-blowing. And speaking of mind-blowing, I want to remind our amazing listeners to like, subscribe, and share this episode with anyone who needs a little cosmic inspiration in their lives. And be sure to join Allison Knows on Spotify and YouTube for more deep dives into all sorts of awesome topics.
We're so glad you're on this journey with us. There's so much more to explore.
Okay, let's dive back into the specifics of the zodiac. We talked about Taurus and Gemini earlier, but there are so many other fascinating signs to uncover. What about Scorpio, for example? They have a bit of a mysterious reputation, don't they?
They do. Scorpios are known for their intensity, passion, and depth. They're ruled by Pluto, the planet of transformation, so there's this constant undercurrent of change and evolution in their lives.
They're like those deep, enigmatic oceans, right? Full of hidden currents and powerful emotions.
Mhm. That's a great analogy. And that intensity can manifest in many ways. One of the sources mentions that Scorpios are incredibly loyal and protective of those they love, but they can also be quite private and even secretive.
So it's like they have this inner world that they guard fiercely.
Exactly. They don't let just anyone in,
Right.
but once you earn their trust, they're the most devoted and supportive friends and partners you could ask for.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
And what about Sagittarius? They seem to have a completely different vibe.
they do. Sagittarius is the adventurer of the zodiac, always seeking truth, knowledge, and new experiences. They're ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, so their energy is expansive, optimistic, and often quite philosophical.
They're like the free spirits of the zodiac, always on the go.
Exactly. And one of the sources mentions that Sagittarians can be quite blunt and outspoken, which can sometimes come across as insensitive.
So they might need to work on their tactfulness a bit.
Perhaps. But it's important to remember that their intentions are usually good. They're just passionate about sharing their truth and beliefs.
I can appreciate that. It's like they're these fiery beacons of honesty and enthusiasm, always pushing boundaries and challenging conventional thinking.
That's a great way to describe them. And it's interesting to see how these different zodiac archetypes play out in real life. We all know people who embody these traits, and it's fascinating to see how their astrological signs might be influencing their behavior and choices.
It's like having this extra layer of understanding, a way to decode the human experience through the lens of the stars.
And it's not just about individual personalities. One of the sources highlights how astrology can shed light on world events and collective shifts.
So it's like the stars are influencing the whole planet, not just us little humans down here.
That's the idea.
Hmm.
Certain planetary alignments are believed to correlate with major historical events, social movements, and even technological advancement.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. So it's like we're all interconnected, not just with each other, but with the cosmos as a whole.
Exactly. It's a reminder that we're part of something much larger than ourselves, a vast and intricate web of energy and connection.
I'm feeling very cosmically connected right now.
Yeah.
This deep dive is taking us to some truly profound places.
It is, and it's not just about intellectual understanding. It's about feeling that connection, that sense of awe and wonder at the mysteries of the universe.
And that sense of possibility. It's like knowing that there's so much more to discover both within ourselves and in the world around us.
Exactly. And that's what makes these systems so fascinating. They offer a glimpse into the infinite possibilities of existence.
This is also inspiring. I feel like I could talk about this for hours, but we're running out of time.
Okay.
Before we wrap up, I want to remind our listeners to like, subscribe, and share this episode with anyone who needs a little cosmic boost in their lives. And be sure to join Allison Knows on Spotify and YouTube for more deep dives into all sorts of awesome topics.
We're so grateful for your presence and your curiosity. There's always more to explore, more to learn, more to experience.
Okay, before we say goodbye, I have one final question.
Yeah.
You've obviously spent a lot of time studying astrology and numerology. What's the most valuable lesson you've learned from these systems?
That's a great question. For me, the most valuable lesson has been the importance of self-acceptance. These systems have shown me that there's a place for everyone in the grand tapestry of life, and that each of us has unique gifts and challenges to offer the world.
I love that. It's like a reminder to embrace our individuality, our quirks, and even our perceived flaws, because they're all part of what makes us who we are.
Exactly. And when we embrace ourselves fully, we can step into our power and fulfill our potential in a way that's authentic and aligned with our soul's purpose.
That's such a powerful message. And on that note, I want to thank everyone for joining us on this incredible journey into the realms of astrology and numerology.
It's been an honor to share these insights with you. May you continue to explore the mysteries of the universe and discover the magic within yourselves.
Thank you for listening to the Allison Knows podcast. Follow Allison on Blue Sky, YouTube, and TikTok. We'll see you on our next deep dive. It's amazing how these systems can help us understand not just personalities,
Right.
but also like broader patterns and trends.
Absolutely. One of the sources we have actually dives into predictive astrology, looking at how planetary movements and cycles
Right?
can offer insights into potential future events.
This is where it gets really interesting. Everyone loves a good prediction.
Of course.
Right.
And we have some intriguing ones to explore. One source specifically mentions predictions for 2025
Okay.
from the Oracle of Whimsy YouTube channel.
I've heard of that channel.
Mm.
They have a pretty dedicated following.
They do. And their predictions often spark a lot of discussion.
Yeah.
One prediction that caught my eye was about Diddy's potential release from prison
Okay.
and his subsequent focus on regaining control of his finances.
That's a big one. Diddy's been like a major figure in the music industry for
Yeah.
decades, so his return would definitely make waves.
It would. And from an astrological perspective, it's interesting to consider how the planetary influences during that time
Yeah.
might align with his actions and decisions.
So it's not just about predicting like specific events, but also understanding like the broader energetic context
Right.
in which they're unfolding.
Exactly. And that's where the expertise of an astrologer comes in. They can interpret those planetary movements and cycles to offer potential insights into what might transpire.
It's like having a cosmic roadmap guiding us through the twists and turns of life.
That's a great analogy. And speaking of roadmaps,
Okay.
the Oracle of Whimsy also made some predictions about political figures.
Oh, yeah. I remember reading about those. What do they say?
Well, one prediction suggested that Governor Newsom of California
Okay.
might face some strong opposition, but would ultimately remain in office.
California politics are always a hot topic, so
Yeah.
it's not entirely surprising.
Right. And it's interesting to consider how the astrological climate during that time might influence the political landscape.
So it's like astrology can give us a glimpse into like the potential challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And another political prediction that stood out was about RFK Jr.
Okay.
potentially being confirmed as health secretary,
Wow.
despite facing significant opposition.
That would definitely be a controversial appointment,
It would.
given his stance on certain health issues.
It would. And again, it's fascinating to see how those predictions might play out in light of the astrological influences at play.
It's like we're watching a cosmic drama unfold with all these different players
Yes.
and storylines intertwined.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And it reminds us that even amidst uncertainty and change, there's a sense of order and purpose woven into the fabric of existence.
Okay, I'm feeling very cosmically minded right now.
This
This deep dive has been a wild ride.
It has. And I think the key takeaway here is that while these systems offer incredible insights,
Yeah.
they're not meant to be taken as absolute truth.
It's about using them as tools for understanding,
Right.
not as rigid rules to live by.
Exactly. It's about integrating these insights with our own intuition and critical thinking
Right.
and navigate life with more awareness and purpose.
And maybe a little more wonder and curiosity about the mysteries of the universe.
Absolutely. That's what makes this journey so exciting.
Well, on that note, I want to thank you for joining us on this incredible exploration of astrology and numerology.
It's been a pleasure sharing the space with you.
And thank you to all our amazing listeners for tuning in. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who needs a little cosmic inspiration in their lives. And be sure to join Allison Knows on Spotify and YouTube for more deep dives into all sorts of awesome topics.
We're so grateful for your presence and your curiosity. Until next time, keep looking up and keep exploring the magic of the universe.
Thank you for listening to the Allison Knows podcast. Follow Allison on Blue Sky, YouTube, and TikTok. We'll see you on our next deep dive.